getting back to football, PJ Mustapher was on the phone with us earlier. He seemed to start out well. I'm assuming you had a lot of reps against him in the summer. I mean, what makes him so difficult for a lineman to deal with?
I think the big thing about PJ is he's always been the big physical guy. When he got here, he's always been hard to move. He's naturally played with great leverage, but I think the big thing about PJ and why he's gotten so much better over the last year is because he's just added so many weapons and so many things to his toolbox. So he's not as predictable of a player. You never know what you're going to get from PJ except great effort, high motor. He's a guy that plays with a lot of energy, but he's really hard to figure out when it comes to what he's going to do because he's worked on so many different parts of his game that he's kind of just cutting out weaknesses as he goes along, and he's become a pretty good player.
How would you tools? Where do you think he maybe made the biggest stride? In the toolbox.
I would say two things. First of all, he's a lot better with his hands, especially in the run game. He's not just a big body sitting in the gap anymore. He can get off blocks. He can make plays. He's really, really disruptive in the backfield, as you guys have seen the first two games. And then I just think overall he's just become a much better athlete. He's so much quicker, and this makes it a lot harder to handle.
Going back to your recruiting days, Sean Clifford was part of that class. Was he someone who was recruiting you before you committed? And additionally, since you guys got to campus together, what do you take the most pride in with Sean in terms of watching him mature?
So first of all, yes, Sean recruited me a lot. He was actually one of the first commits from another school to reach out for me while I was being recruited. He's honestly a big reason why I ended up coming here. And then I think since he's gotten here, I'm really proud of the way that he's kind of grown up and taken steps to becoming a professional. I feel like he really handles himself like a professional. He does a lot of stuff off the field that people don't really know about, but he's been working hard for the past 5 months, hours and hours every day, and just takes it really seriously. Has a really, really good approach to how he comes to work every day.
What's so good about a Sean Clifford pitch? Because we heard that from KJ too.
I don't even remember what he said or anything specific. I just know that he was a guy who reached out to me a lot and checked up on me and really made me feel like I was part of what they had. So that was one of the big reasons he ended up bringing me here.
And how does he make you feel then? Just by constantly texting you? Or?
Pretty much, yeah. That's really, especially when we're being recruited, that's really the only means of communication that we have with each other. Just a quick Twitter message here or there, text message, something like that. Nothing much, but he was pretty constant, pretty deliberate about it, and really made me feel like I was part of something here.
Mike, Steven Gonzalez has started more games than anybody on this offense, but he's being asked to come to the sideline for you or CJ occasionally now. How has he handled that? He's a guy is in his final audition for an NFL contract next year. I know he mentioned wanting to prove himself this year.
I mean, I think he's handled it fine. I don't think he's handled it in any negative way. I still think that he's preparing just like he always has. He hasn't really changed anything. He's still preparing to go out there Saturday and play as best as he can, just like he has every other week. And I really feel like he thinks that it's a good situation too. I feel like we all have the same kind of attitude that what we have at guard is a good situation because we have, instead of having 2 guys, we have 3 guys that feel like we can really compete at this level.
Can you completely anticipate when you're going to get pulled to the sideline, or is it occasionally like you're staying on the sideline, CJ's going out or Steven's going out? How is that handled? Can you anticipate that?
Like Coach Franklin said with some of the rotation stuff going into the weekend, they'll kind of let us know going in, but it doesn't always stick to what they say. It'll change every once in a while depending on how many snaps I get, how many snaps CJ or if Steve gets. If one of us gets too high or low, they'll kind of adjust it from there. But I kind of have a big picture idea, but other than that, I'm just always prepared.
And the guy who cross-trains on the entire interior of the line, is there somewhere left, right, center that you prefer?
No.
No.
Before I would have said left. Probably last season I definitely would have said left. I feel like I've gotten a lot of work at all those spots now where I feel like, I mean, if you guys are in practice, you probably see it. I'll go from one to the other in the next snap, and it's not that much of an adjustment for me at this point. I feel like I have the same comfort level at all 3 of them.
Can you evaluate the offensive line through the first 2 weeks? You know, what are you especially happy with, with the offensive line, and where do you think you need to make the most strides?
I feel like the biggest thing is I feel like we all kind of have gelled together, especially with this whole guard rotation thing. Some people might have been concerned that there would be some chemistry issues, but I feel like our chemistry has been really good since the start of camp. We've worked really hard on building that chemistry. I feel like everyone in the room kind of gets along. Everyone in the room is good friends, especially with Rashid too. I feel like the first day of camp when he was in there, it didn't feel like there was much of a drop off when it came to chemistry, and I just feel like we got some guys in the room that play well with each other.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.